The whole plan was to do a quick up and down overnighter, and I think this is going to turn out to be something a bit more like 20 miles. Crack open a cheeky little bit of wine. I am feeling absolutely full of energy. Really tempted to go down Swirral and then come up Striding. Well, today's wild camp is going to be pretty straightforward, I think. I'm just going to head up to Fairfield and then drop down to Grisedale tarn, see if I can find somewhere to camp there. I've decided for this video to take things back to basics a little bit. So I've not brought my drone, I've not brought my 360 camera, I've just brought my action camera. I'm just going to crack on and get up there and show you a little bit of the scenery on the way. Well, to be honest, I've been feeling quite low lately and I've been getting out a lot less than I used to. And when I do get out, I'm either doing a really small walk and going home, or just going home without doing any sort of walk, which is not ideal. So today, the plan is to go up a fairly big mountain and see if I can find somewhere to camp at the top, and if not, just drop down to Grisedale. If I can't find anything there, then I'll just drop down to Alcock tarn, where I've camped before, so I know there's a spot or two there. Well, the weather seems alright at the moment. A little bit of sun cracking through the clouds every now and then, but apparently later on it's going to get really windy and there's going to be a lot of heavy rain, so things might turn a little bit shitty, but we'll see. I've decided to bring my 4-season tent just to be safe, obviously. I'm just arriving at Alcock tarn. This is a pretty nice spot. I've camped here a few times. The good thing about this place is it's only around about an hour's walk from the car, and it's only about 370 metres ascent. So it's not too bad at all, really, if you're up for a quick wild camp. As I said before, the plan for today is to blast those cobwebs out of my legs. I don't know why I've got spider infested legs, but I have. And basically just to clear my mind a little bit, you know, start thinking a bit more positively, and just remember why I'm actually doing this shit, you know. So yeah, I'm going back to basics, I think. I'm not going to be doing that much talking to the camera as I hike up. I'm just going to crack on and get up there and show you a little bit of the scenery on the way, and then have a proper chat later on when I'm cooking up some delicious scran. One of my followers asked a question about the Trekker tent steer, about whether you can create a vestibule in the 2-man version, and I said, yeah, you know, I don't see any reason why not, but I've never actually tried it, so I'm actually just going to try that just to test, and then if it works, I'll show the guy that it works, which is always good. So if you've got any questions at all about any of the gear that you see me using or whatever, feel free to comment below, and you know, if I can help out, I really will. I'm just getting to the summit of Heron Pike. Getting a little bit nippy now. About 6 degrees wind chill it is. I always think it's a bit odd because that doesn't look as tall as that one over there, but it must be, I guess. I can just see the clouds coming in over there, and actually I'm a lot higher than I expected, to be honest. I'm towering way above the Lion and the Lamb Helm Crag over there. I'll turn around so you can see. Looks actually really nice, but it does look like the rain might be coming in. Oh, let's turn you around. I'm not too sure if you can see there, but that's where I camped the other day when I took my kayak up to Grisedale tarn. It's a fair trek actually, considering carrying a kayak in my hand. If you've not seen that video yet, why not? But it's actually pretty good, to be fair, you know, worth a watch. So I'll put a link to that at the end of this video. Well, I just thought I'd give you a close-up of my crotch, just so that I can show you how I carry my water. And basically just a mammoth or mammoth, whatever you want to call it, water bottle. I find it really easy to use, and I find that I drink a lot more with it just being there, you know, and it doesn't come out because of this little bit of elastic, and doesn't really get in the way when you're hiking around. I do find, if I can just, I do find that having the water there is not something I particularly like. I think it's just too high and too in my face. So what I do is I keep my anemometer there, or whatever the hell it's called, the wind machine I call it, and then my mobile phone there. I'd rather have access to those often, and my water's kind of out the way down there. So I just thought I'd show you that. Well, interestingly, I've just checked, and that's 621, while that down there is 612. So it would appear that, as I suspected before, that is higher. So I'm not entirely sure why that is classed as a peak and this one is not. It must just be too close to another peak somewhere. There's usually a few little rules about what constitutes a peak and not. Essentially, usually it has to drop down a certain distance before it can be classed as a new peak. Otherwise, you just have like peak after peak after peak every time the hills did that. So yeah, quite curious about that one, because it must be that over there's less of a drop than there is over here. It doesn't look like it, so it must be Fairfield or the next peak. What is it? Let me just check on phone. Oh, so the next one along is Great Rigg, so it must be Great Rigg stopping this one from being classed as a peak, even though it's taller than Heron Pike. Look at me acting like I know the names more when I'm just reading them off there. Never a dull bloody moment. So about an hour ago I stopped to answer a work email and left my trekking poles on the floor, and then being a bloody idiot just cracked on afterwards and didn't pick them back up. So I've just spent the last hour traipsing back and forth trying to find them, and I was all set to give up and just call it a day and just cancel a bloody wild camp like a sulking little baby. And just out the corner of my eye, woo, seeing them. Never a dull bloody moment. I had to put me behind a little bit, so I think Grisedale's probably off the table now. I'm looking around here, and there are some flattish spots around, so worst comes to the worst, I can go all the way up to Fairfield and then double back and come down and camp down here. And so I'll just be making mental notes, I think, on the way up of places to camp. I always do like to summit camp if I can, so hopefully there'll be somewhere at the top of Fairfield. But I think it's too late now to drop down to the Grisedale tarn, which is what my original plan was. Ideally, I'd like an hour or two of light so that I can do some cooking and that kind of stuff. I think it's about 6 o'clock now, so I think the sunset's 9ish, 9:15, something like that. So yeah, I think we're all right for time. I'll easily get to Fairfield in time, and we'll go from there. Aye, aye, aye. And I'm just approaching the summit of Great Rigg. I've been in the clouds for the last 20 minutes, so it's been pretty damp. I did plan for this, so I've decided to bring my 3-season dual quilt setup, which should basically eliminate the chances of my down quilts getting damp. So a bit of forward planning there, always good. Yeah, I've never been up this way before, so it's all quite new to me. Things have just cleared up a little bit over there. Oh, that looks nice. Just turn you around. You can see the cloud that I was just in there, but clearing up nicely over there. And I've still got about 3 hours of light, so plenty to go. Anyway, I'm going to crack on now, and I'll get back to you once I've summited, which I think is right there actually. Let me make sure, pick up these mothers. The summit of Great Rigg there, I believe, and then swing around over here, just behind all that cloud. I think up there is going to be the summit of Fairfield. It's going to go all the way around there, I think. So yeah, that'd be good. Looking at it, I think it might not be the best place to camp, but I've got enough light to head up and then head back down here. I think having a quick scout around here, there's a few places that have passed where I could camp, so I don't think it's going to be too bad. Let's have a little mooch down here. Yeah, a couple of little places over there on the edge that I can camp, so plenty of options. Actually more than I'm used to be honest. Normally, spin you back around. Normally you're really struggling to find a flat area, and this place is riddled with them. Absolutely bloody riddled. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, Bayek. I'm a bit pooped. It's quite steep this really. So I'm almost at the top now. I just thought I'd check in and say, hey, I'm almost at the top. That's what I thought I'd check in and say. So I'm actually not too far off the summit for Fairfield now. I've just got a notification saying that my microphone battery is about to die. So I'm actually going to have to stop at some point and start charging that up. Hopefully I'll find somewhere to camp at the top. I'm, I don't know, looking maybe about 10 minutes away from the summit, I think. A bit hard work this, like, but I'm very glad to be out, which is always good. So I'm going to cook myself some nice burgers later on, and I've got myself some tapas and a bit of wine. Should be nice. Nice little wine down, I think. It's been a while since I've drank on a camp. So yeah, I'm just approaching the Fairfield summit here. I'm pretty sure this is it. It looks like one of those wind blocks, so I'm guessing it would be. Temperature's dropped quite a lot. Got to be about 10 years since I was up here last, to be honest. Yeah, that's the summit, all right. So looking over there, it looks like there might actually be some flat area on the summit, which would be quite nice. The only thing is, it's definitely flat, but I think it might just be a thin layer of grass on rock, so I'll have to check. But there's a fair amount of flat area, so hopefully I'll find somewhere. If not, I'll just drop down, like I said before. So all good. I don't want to pitch too close to a path. If I have to, I shall. Yeah, looks a bit grassy, this bit. It's quite close to the path, like, but I don't think there's anyone going to be up here until tomorrow morning. Oh, this is definitely grassy. I can see rocks, but definitely grassy. It's one of those things where it looks flat, and then when you get closer you realise it's on a bit of an angle, and I am a bit of a princess when it comes to sleeping on a level surface. I think there's that much option around here that there's no point in me rushing. I may as well scout around and find somewhere that's nice and flat. It's mad up here actually. It's probably the flattest peak I've ever been up. Sitting there worrying that I might have to descend, and like it literally is like a bloody football pitch over there, or rugby. Yeah, I think, oh, this is insane. I'm gonna have to show you this because this is nuts. Whoa, there we go. This is possibly the flattest, grassiest peak I've ever seen in my life. Alright, so be a bit awkward to see, but what I've done there, closed the door over, and you can see that we've got all this grass area here now. And what I've done, I've just folded the inner and just pushed it underneath me mat. So my mat kind of sits in the corner there, and I've got that there. So in answer to your question, yeah, you can do. I personally don't think I'd ever use it. I'd probably just rather just use the inside of my tent, but yep, you can. Hands are a bit dirty, so I'm gonna give them a quick wash with one of these here wipey things. I just wiped my hands on some grass outside to try and do this. Made them very sticky. Oh, well. So I need to put these on. Little toasty sock things. So it's just 8 o'clock, I can see that. This has got an hour and 40 minutes of light left before sunset, which is nice. You like these long days. Right. There we go. Look at all that bloody room. I do like this tent. Right then, so got a couple of cheeky little bottles of Jam Shed red wine. Some salami, some olives, and a little bit of cheese and stuff like that. So that's just for like nibbling on in a bit. And then inside here, where's the bloody zip? In the front there, we have got some cracked black pepper cheese, some very, very squashed barms. Over there, some equally squashed beef burgers. Got 4 little ones, so that should be alright. They should be alright actually then. Pop hot way. Some jalapenos, tomatoes, and a bit of lettuce, and then some onions. And then we've got ourselves a little chopping board there. So get that out of the way. Put that over there. Let's get things going. Feeling a bit peckish, I'll have you know. So it's just drizzling outside now. So I was hoping to cook outside, but that was not meant to be. In a moment. So I've gone for a remote stove, which has got a bit of a bigger burner on it. Right. That should be all right. Okay, so can I fit 4 of these in at once, or do we do them 2 at a time? Oh, that's kind of mashed into a single patty. Not the best. That. Okay, can I separate these? Oh, shite. They don't look like they want to separate anymore. Oh dear, that's not looking good. Right, okay. The answer to that question is no. I'm not going to be able to fit 4 in there. So I'll do 2 at a time. Raw meat on my fingers. It's beef, so it's alright, but not ideal. Right. these are quite thin, so they shouldn't take long to cook at all, which is good. Have a cheeky piece of cheese. Anyway. Get a bit of oil all around the pan so it doesn't start to stick. Can't beat a bit of camp cooking. Quite greasy. It's spitting more than I'd like. Onions. This isn't going to work, I don't think. A little bit precarious. Those jalapenos there. Let me just stop spitting you, we don't like that. Ah, alright, it's spitting too much now. Oh, come on, you messy, bloody, oily bastard. I'm not a fan of cooking oily stuff in a tent. It makes a mess of all your stuff. Get that there. That there. Okay. Right, and then pop this lid on. Right, tuck into this. Well, temperature's dropped now. I've turned that stove off. Right, well that was delicious. Crack open a cheeky little bit of wine. Not exactly very classy. I mean, if I do that, is it very classy? Tasty. Right then, let's get this second burger on the go. I think this time around I will put onions on the very bottom because they were not happy being on the top. Not staying in shape much better. I'm going to tuck into this and then we'll have a little chat later while I'm drinking wine and eating tapas. Tell you what, you can't beat tapas, it is just tasty as fuck. So it's gone quite cold now. I think it's going to go down to 3 or 4 overnight, which I can believe if it's this cold already and the sun's still got an hour left before it sets. We're not too far off summer now, are we? So quite interestingly cold for this time of year. Pretty long time since I've had red wine. Piece of cheese with a piece of salami, I think, is in order. Fold that over. I'll tell you what, olives have got to be one of the most polarising things after cats. Basically, I think you either love olives or you absolutely hate them. And I used to hate them. I used to think they were absolutely disgusting. And I went to Spain once and somebody was adamant that I needed to try a good olive. And they were fucking right. A good olive tastes way better than shitty olives. And I think most people's first experience with olives are usually a pretty shitty, cheap olive, which puts you off because they are quite crap. It's definitely an acquired taste though, for sure. As promised, it's been raining since about 3 in the morning. Very unusual actually. About 2 in the morning, there was a group of very, very noisy people at the summit, which is not what I was expecting. I have camped right near the summit, so I would have been in sight of them all. But yeah, it doesn't strike me as the kind of peak that you would normally come up at night. But yeah, there was. Get myself the coffee. A bit heavier. I actually don't know what coffee this is. Could be good, could be bad. Like I'm some sort of connoisseur and I'm going to be able to tell by smelling it. No. Not a bad night last night, to be honest. Quite mild, around about 7 degrees, which is alright. Went down to around about 5 or 6 in the morning, but it's not bad at all really. Probably a little bit cold for this time of the year, but not bad. I have my coffee lukewarm really, so don't need to boil it for too long. I woke up and I found this in my tent, and I have absolutely no idea what it is. Nothing worse than finding a weird nut or bolt, because you think they're usually important. I'll put it on there for safekeeping. So around about 7 o'clock. So depending on how I feel when I start hiking, I might just kind of cut down to Grisedale Tarn and then head back to the car. Or if I can be arsed, I might actually head over to Dollywaggon Pike and then come down the little river right near that, which is quite nice. The only thing with that route would be that there'd be a fair amount of road walking, which is never that good. Oh, knackers my shoulder leaning up like that. Getting old, man, getting old. Right then. I've got about 6 billion pillows. This is a new one that I've got, mountain equipment, and actually I love it. It's really nice. It's I think it's just designed for side sleepers, so it works really well for me. Bought an X-Bed one recently and that was just awful. I do not understand the design on it, so I'll be giving that to my friend, I think. Quite toasty in here last night. Not that much condensation, almost none on the inside of the tent. The outside of my sleeping bag toward the legs is a little bit damp, but that's on this synthetic layer, so that's all good. Right, well, I'm going to drink this brew and then get myself packed up. A bit shitty that weather. Well, the rain's just stopped a little bit, so I'm going to take this opportunity to get myself out. That's always the hardest part. I find the best thing to do is to just do it, otherwise you'll just lie in bed forever. Right, all packed up, I'm ready to head off for my next day hiking. As always, leave no trace. You can see there, a little rectangle where I was pitched. So yeah, don't be a dick and don't leave all your rubbish behind. Okie doke, so I'm the blue track today. The purple ones, they're ones that I've already done in the past. So that's where I parked and I came all the way up to Fairfield there. So I think I'm going to go down to Grisedale tarn there, and I'm not too sure. I might head up to Nethermost Pike and then come down and head down this way, but it'd be quite a lot of road doing that. I might go up here and then down. Depends how arse I can be. What's that called? Seat sandal. Yeah, be a bit of a hike, but or I might just go to there and then down there. Just depends how I feel. So we'll see. Grisedale tarn, just coming into view here. That path leading up to Dollywaggon looks quite horrendous. See how I feel when I get to the bottom. Actually quite a big one this for a mountain tarn. Alright there, mate. Oh bloody hell, can't make its mind up this weather. Pissing it down again. So I'm almost at the top of that big section, not too far away from Dollywaggon Pike, which I maintain is probably one of the most ridiculous names for a mountain ever. Oh dear, well it looks like I've overshot the mark a little bit when it comes to Dollywaggon Pike, so I've had to backtrack a little bit. And you can just see Nethermost Pike in the distance there. Tell you what, I am actually feeling weirdly enthusiastic. It's been a while since I felt like this. The whole plan was to do a quick up and down overnighter, which was most likely going to end up being about 8 miles. And I think this is going to turn out to be something a bit more like 15-20 miles. And in fact, I mean, I feel that enthusiastic. I'm half tempted to just stay out for another bloody day. So yeah, it's been a long time since I felt like this, so quite happy indeed. I mean, I haven't got any food, so staying out for an extra day would mean I'd have to do it all fasted. But to be honest, like, I'm absolutely fucking bursting with energy right now. And I had those burgers and the tapas thing last night. But generally speaking, I'm normally good until at least 8 o'clock the next day. So I could theoretically do an impromptu 2-nighter. I mean, it's only early though, so I'm not entirely sure what the hell I'd actually do for the whole of the day. No, my luck, I'd end up just carrying on hiking that direction and end up at Keswick. I think I'm not going to do a 2-nighter. I'm probably just gonna do this extended route, and then I reckon I'll just head into Ambleside and get myself a decent coffee. That's the plan, I think, but I don't know. I am feeling pretty good, so who knows? So you can just see right over there in the distance, that's Fairfield, where I wild camped last night. Just approaching Nethermost Pike summit, which, to be fair, is quite a shit summit. Not exactly the most peakiest of summits, is it? Now, this is actually where I was planning on coming to, and then doubling back and going back to my car. But I can see Helvellyn up there, and it just seems a shame not to do Helvellyn. Over there, if you look in the distance, you can see Catstye Cam, and then just to the right you can see Striding Edge. So a couple of people on Striding Edge as always. So I think fuck it, I'm just going to go up to Helvellyn. Just arriving at the windbreak now. A lot of people actually think this is the summit, but it's not, which is obvious when you think those two blokes are hiding the windbreak. So I'm just going to head up to the summit now. Just the Helvellyn summit now. Now, if you've seen my Helvellyn video, you'll see where those people are now in the distance. That's actually where I did my wild camp, and you can just see Swirral Edge going down there, leading to Catstye Cam. And just over in the distance there, you can see Striding Edge. Now, I'm not going to lie, I'm actually really tempted to go down Swirral, do Catstye Cam, and then come up Striding. I am feeling absolutely full of energy, which is mad considering the last time I ate was 8 o'clock last night when I was camping. I do have to bear in mind that I'm already about 10 miles away from the car, but also, and this is dead sad, this really, I'm about to run out of batteries on my cameras, and I feel like if I don't record it, I didn't do it, and it's a little bit of a shame, because I think I may as well actually just bloody well do it, even if I'm not recording it. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sitting here, and I think I'm trying to convince myself, because I'm just tempted to just do it. I mean, the plan for this wild camp was to pretty much drop down from Fairfield to Grisedale tarn and then just head home. So, I mean, I've strapped on a fuckload more miles and peaks as it is, but I don't know, I do like doing things. I am feeling really quite motivated, and I've not felt this way for a while, so I don't know. It's quite funny because I'm telling you I'm not doing it, but what I am actually doing is walking to the drop down point for Swirral. So I think I've made my mind up. I just don't think I'm being honest with myself. Fuck it, I'm doing it. Well, I think it's a pretty good job that I did decide to drop down Swirral Edge. When I was at the top at the summit of Helvellyn, there was a bloke panicked. He said he'd been looking for a young lad for about 20 minutes. And what had happened is they'd come up Swirral Edge and then they'd summited, and when he turned round, the young lad had gone. So as I was dropping down to Striding Edge, just out the corner of my eye, really tucked away, I could see this young lad just like kind of sat on a rock taking photographs. And the bloke who was looking for him at the top told me that he had disabilities. I did offer to take him up, but he refused. So I went up and kind of found the bloke and brought him down. So it's a good job really, because I'm not too sure that the bloke was even considering the fact that he might have dropped down Swirral Edge again. So that was quite interesting. I wasn't expecting that. That just took about half an hour extra to do. My batteries are going to have dropped down even further now, so I'm going to have to crack on now anyway. So I'm just going to blast over to Catstye Cam and then drop down and do Striding Edge as quick as I can. I'll just head over to Catstye Cam now and then over to Striding. And just turn around, show you Swirral. So over Catstye Cam. So I'm going to head down there now. Absolute fucking dirty bastards. That's the summit of Helvellyn up there. I just got to the beginning of Striding Edge, so I'm going to crack on with this, get back up to the summit of Helvellyn and then head back to the car. The thing about Striding Edge is it looks the part from the distance, but this is the reality of it. It's really quite wide, not particularly a knife edge or anything, not on compared to Crib Glock or whatever. That is mentally busy today. Can't believe it's only a Friday. Managed to save myself 15% battery, so I can record a little bit of this. It seems a shame not to. So this is the true grade 1 section of Striding Edge in my opinion. This is like a proper little down climb, so I'll just capture this. Oh, bloody hell. Getting up that head wall just took it out of me. Glad to be back on a normal path now, so reckon I'll be getting back at the car in about another 3 hours maybe. Oh, those little baby steps are absolute shits. Luckily, I've got that for the next few miles. Oh Christ, I'm parked way past that lion and lamb. Ooh, this is gonna drag. Well, this is going to be a very, very shitty last few miles, isn't it? Well, bloody hell, that was a lot longer than I was expecting. So just shy of 20 miles and just shy of 2,000 metres ascent, which is not massive, but it was, considering I was only really expecting to do about 6 miles and have a little overnighter, as you do. It was a bit of a surprise, but I was feeling it and I thought, fuck it, I may as well just continue. And because I was only planning on doing like a really short camp, I only brought food for the one day, which meant that I ended up doing the entire second day without eating. 23 hours, 24 hours in the end it was. Yeah, so I mean, to be honest, like I do most of my hikes fasted, so I'm kind of used to it anyway. But like an absolute dick, I didn't bring me water filter, so I actually did 10 hours of it without any water. The cup of coffee that you see me have in the morning, that's pretty much the only drink I have until I come across a waterfall right about 3 miles away from the car. So that wasn't the cleverest thing. If you like this kind of video and you want to see more of it, then please do subscribe. My channel's growing slowly and I've got a nice little community going, which I think is absolutely amazing. So why not subscribe and join the community, you bastard. Anyway, I'll see you next time.